Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at, from the Transformers Studio series, from the Rise of the Beast movie, this is Optimus Primal. Uh, I just got this figure from Amazon. It's actually shipped a little bit early, and it's interesting to say the least. Um, I'm just going to say right off the bat that I think the ultimate version of Optimus Primal, that's the Takara exclusive, I think that's actually a much better figure. Also, one thing I want to point out is what the pose you see the figure in right now. This is an approximation from a box art. This is not how the figure comes packaged, nor is it how it's shown in the instructions. I'll show you how it comes in like a minute or two. But starting off, you can see that all the accessories that Optimus Primal comes with can be stored on the figure. But here's the kicker. The axe, for example, is actually meant for Optimus Prime. And I'll show you Optimus Prime with it in a few minutes. So we'll just put that off to the side. And then you have this very unique chain weapon, which tip of the hat to Hasbro. It's actually segmented and hinged. It's a stiff piece. This is actually meant to go with Battle Trap and is meant to be connect to the ball to the wrecking ball and the tow hook, so you can have some poses there. Unfortunately, I don't have um, Battle Trap available right now. I actually never got around to reviewing it, so the figure's never been opened. So hopefully, we'll get to that sooner than later. So really, the only accessories that are directly for Optimus Primal, well, I mean, technically they're all for him, but that are you know included. The character is used and is meant for him are the scimitars, which are very nice. You can, of course, um, combine them and stuff like that. Let me just pop these off to show you what I'm talking about. You can combine them with the chain. You can combine them with the axe. You can do this. You can do that. Um, and one thing I just noticed, let me see if I can pop to do this. Yeah, they can even peg into the side there. So we'll take a look at that in robot mode. So clearing that up, you can see that this is a very nice looking gorilla. Unfortunately, we do know that this is not 100% accurate to the film, and I'm a little bit disappointed by that because I think by this point, Hasbro should be able to put out Studio Series figures the first time that are close, that are basically the movie likenesses. I would have rathered they wait maybe a few months, maybe a year to get those finalized designs and make the figures look how they do in the movie. But of course, with delays and stuff, and they wanted to get the figures out. Now, as I mentioned, this is actually not how the figure comes in the packaging, nor is it how it's shown in the instructions. What you want to do is actually straighten the legs back and then bring the feet down. And this figure is meant to stand. Very interesting. Uh, just like that. I mean, it can move. And, it is also meant to be able to hold the weapons and stuff in beast mode. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know if Optimus Primal actually got down and dirty and was fighting with, its weapons in uh, the beast mode, but just adjust the camera, flipping the head there. But as you can see, now this is a leader class toy. Imagine opening the box and you're finding this in the middle with a lot of space around it, the swords stuck off in the corners, and everything else wrapped in tissue paper. Yeah, that's how I discovered Optimus Primal. So, needless to say, I was a little disappointed by that and how the figure was presented. I think it was a little too big. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a little too small. And that's something we're going to talk about more once we get into the transformation. So, how about we pause and we'll come back with the transformation? just real quick, like I said, here's the axe. And as you can see, it just slides right into Optimus Prime's hand. So very nice. Does work. Unfortunately, one thing I was disappointed about, unless I'm missing something, is uh, the peg here that allows for the storage on Optimus Primal. It just doesn't fit anywhere. So I haven't decided yet uh, if I'm going to keep the axe with Optimus Prime or keep it with Optimus Primal. But it is there. It is for that early scene in the movie. So there you go. Now on with the transformation. Now, before we get into the transformation, let me just say that I find it's not difficult, but I find it overly involved. And I think there's a lot of extra steps and a lot of extra parts that were included to justify this price point. And I think really that to me that's a bit of a turnoff. So first thing you want to do is make sure the hands are closed up all the way. Yes, the hands are articulated. In gorilla mode, it's just one piece just like that. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a little bit differently from the instructions. Go ahead and move the arms out of the way like that. Turn the figure around. And what we're going to do now is unpeg this back section. And what you want to do is unhinge it down. And this will make the figure a little taller. And want to press the shin into the side like that. Continue folding it down so that the gorilla feet fold up like that. And then fold up this section here so it faces out and bring it bring the robot foot forward. And what will happen is there's a slot right there that will go into a tab right there. Close that up. And once that's done, you have the leg basically done. And there is a heel. What I recommend doing is just using the scimitar here and to just pop out that heel piece because I can't get it with my hand. And usually it pops out right away with the sword. Probably the other angle here. It is actually a very tight joint, so that's good. Hmm. Wow, there we go. Pop it out like that, and there you have a leg done. And yes, believe it or not, one of the ways that this is going to transform is the robot mode is going to be the back of the figure, while the beast mode is the front, or vice versa. But we'll get more into that. So, and peg that section there. See, it does peg in. Bring it down. Pull that out. Bring this whole section down. Start folding the foot up, toe down, and again, peg that into place. It actually does not stay that well, but so you might have to, as you move the figure around, readjust it, and then get it in there. Is it lined up? Is it in? And basically, you can tell if the gap is very small or not noticeable. So make sure, yep, get it in there. There we go. I think I got it. Do I got it? No, I don't got it. It is like really annoying because it's like you're move when you move a panel around, it does start to. There we go. We got it. There we go. I got it. And of course, got to flip out the heel piece. It's not that it's difficult. Let me just stress that again. It's just that it's very fidgety because you do have several hinges and joints that are trying to move against you. So let's now turn the figure so the gorilla head is facing us. Flip it up just like so. Come in right here, and you want to pop up this abdomen's piece, and you want to loosen it up and flip it around just like that. Next, what you want to do is come around the back here and then flip this whole section up and over just like so. Bring it down. Um, at this point, you can fold that piece back. You want to like collapse it up a little and rotate it around. We'll get to that in a second. Now it's time to reveal the robot mode head. So open up the chest here. This is a very standard Optimus Primal transformation now. Bring the gorilla head in, pick up this hinge here, rotate it around, uh, fold out Optimus Primal's head again, push it back into place, snap it back up like there. There is the robot mode head. Now this is, I believe, fairly accurate to the film, although I don't remember if he had that faceplate or not. And now what we're going to do is we're going to collapse this down along the back. First of all, there's a slot here, tab here, that should clip in. And then basically, before you clip that in, there's a tab there that's going to go into a slot on that other section. So bring that down, get it all situated in, and it closes up just like that. So, and by the way, you can't do the transformation with the swords attached because of how this went from the gorilla back to the robot back and it flips over. The swords would be in an odd position. So right now we're actually going to do the arm transformation, and this is actually very interesting and involved. First thing you want to do is open up this panel here, open up this panel, and in doing so, you're going to rotate it around, flipping out the robot hand. Uh, then what you want to do is rotate that panel around so it faces back. Come in here on a double hinge, bring down this piece right there. That's going to close up that forearm section. Close that panel, and there's a tab slot right there that's going to go into a tab right there, and rotate the robot fist around just like so. Let's do it again on this side. Open up that panel, open up this panel, rotate, uh, bring the that'll bring out the robot fist, bring down this inner panel, that'll help close the gap, close it all up, tab it into place, rotate the hand around, and there we have Optimus Primal in its robot mode. The shoulder pads, they really don't show them coming up, and if you raise them up, you see that you expose the screw holes. I wonder if there's like a way that this is supposed to rotate that. No, it doesn't work. Oh, and by the way, you do have for gorilla mode uh, some nice arm articulation there. So I mean, they'll move with the figure, which is nice. Now, in robot mode, the hands are actually double jointed, so which means you have the fingers are articulated in two sets of two. So there he's pointing. And as I discovered when we were looking at the gorilla, you can store the swords here on the side of the hips or on the back. Which is their traditional location. You do have a ball jointed head, although this one is a little bit more limited than I would say the gorilla head is. Um, you have those arm joints I just mentioned. You do have lots of swivels and hinges here in the in the arms to go forward. You have waist articulation, hips, and just be careful. You do have the knee. Just make sure when you bend it to grab that side shin point so that it will stay attached. Oh, and of course, ankle pivot. And I guess you could say you have a little toe articulation from the transformation. So it's a nice figure, but you know, uh, leader class figure right here. Studio Series Voyager. Uh, let's see if I can adjust this ever so slightly for you. Make it clear. Um, Optimus Prime, from the tips of his antennas, is taller than Optimus Primal. The Voyager class figure is taller than the leader class figure. And in terms of parts count, I would say they're roughly the same. So be that what it may. Um, so I guess that's about it for the review. Yeah, obviously, in robot mode, the axe can store on the side if you so desire, and then the chain, um, instead of being along the buttocks, is actually it would be now across the top here. So there's that. Um, we'll pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. To say I'm a little conflicted on Optimus Primal, I think would be an understatement. When I first opened the box, I was floored by how small the gorilla mode was. And yes, I am very impressed with how the legs telescope out and you get a bigger robot. But the fact that it's still shorter than, say, that Studio Series Rise of the Beast of Optimus Prime, which, by the way, if you haven't gotten the figure, if you got your orders canceled by Target, don't worry about it. Takara is going to be releasing it. It'll come next year. And I believe pre orders will be going up soon on places like Amazon Japan. And depending on where you're located with the shipping, it'll be comparable to, I mean, it'll be a little bit more, but not nearly as much as what you would pay online to eBay scalpers. So there is some food for thought there. Um, but yeah, the fact that that is a Voyager class figure, and yes, it was kind of sold as like a higher price point Voyager, but it still it's this is a leader figure. It should be bigger. And I know I've been told not to judge by size, but by piece count. Well, here's the piece count. Yeah, I would say there's about the same number of parts in both figures, but here's the thing, and this is what really gets me. There's a lot more parts in Optimus Primal that I don't think need to be there. The leg transformation on the mainline Voyager, with how the feet folded out of the shins, was done much better than what we had here. Um, I don't think we had to do that whole inside out flippy dippy thing with the arms to go from gorilla mode to robot mode. It's cool, but I think it was thrown in to just justify the cost. And I think if they just would have left things a little more simple, um, we could have had a cheaper figure that would have been a little bit nicer. And let's not also forget the fact that that mainline Voyager, I feel, had a better gorilla mode. That this did not have the curve to the back the way it was supposed to be. I even think that Ultimate Class Optimus Primal from Takara, which is roughly the same price, depending on the rate of exchange and where you get it from. Maybe it's a couple bucks more, but you get a bigger figure, you get more, you don't get more accessories per se, because like the arm blasters built in, the missile launchers built in. You have the face changing from open face plate to close. Stuff like that, that, yeah, technically is not accurate to the movie, but it makes for an overall better figure. And if I remember correctly, the fingers are individually articulated, or it's like a 1 in 3 type of deal. So basically, what I'm just getting to is for the price of $54, which I think is what this came out to with tax and shipping. Um, I just don't see the value, especially considering that this is still not 100% accurate to the film. But that's a discussion for a whole other time about Hasbro having to get control and making sure um, that these studios give them finalized designs. But if if you're going to buy every Optimus Primal, I would say just wait for the sale, because it is a good figure, but it's not good at the price it's going for right now. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. While I always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. I also have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like Optimus Primal to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, can't swing the dollar a month, $12 a year. Your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just the cherry on top of an already generous sundae. You guys have been supporting me for a very long time, and I really do appreciate it. And I want you all to know that, and just how much I really do appreciate it. So, with that being said, this is once again your old pal Chuck for Leader Class Optimus Primal. We will see you next time.